Right. Um, Spawning zombies. Let's have a look at that then. We've got a topic that's gotten very complicated here, um, but I don't think it needs to be anywhere near as complicated. Um, Epiphany's given us a script. Let's have a quick look at that. I've made a script here, empty one. Let's paste in what he's got. Okay, well, first of all, we're setting a zombie, workspace zombie. I'm not a big fan of just using workspace. I prefer to have game.workspace. I don't know why, but I have run into some weird issues before just calling the workspace like that. Um, Zombie. Now, your zombie, this is the zombie to clone, and you've got it in the workspace. I would have kept it in replicated storage. That way, things are much better. You know, much safer. Um, Zombie count. Okay, we're making a zombie count to keep track of how many zombies we are. That's what I suggested. That's perfect. A max number of zombies. Yep. Okay, we're going for 50. That's good. So we can easily change this. The zombie folder. Um, I would actually just make this. Make it in the script, and then you know it's created. Otherwise, the other thing is here. Really want to wait for child. You want to make sure that folder exists when this bit of the script gets to it, because if it doesn't, you're going to run into some other errors. And if you've got a lot of other things in your game making it load slower, then the chances of this folder not being in here at the time that this variable tries to set it there goes up and up. You know, because you can't control what order Roblox loads things into the game in that way. We've got debounce. Fine, we'll do it with a debounce. Although I might switch from doing a debounce to just disconnecting it. Um, New zombie equals nil. Okay, so we got a new zombie. We don't want to make new zombie outside of this. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to make a new zombie each time. That's why it's new zombie. We want to make a new zombie and make it the clone each time. And then we want to connect the Humanoid.Died in this function where we're making the zombie. We're connecting the died event of this new zombie each time to that zombie, not to all of them. We want it to be each one has its own connection, and we just set that connection once, and it should run. The only problem you was having with the script that I gave you originally, I believe, would be the fact that Humanoid.Died can be triggered multiple times, which I didn't actually realise, but having had a look into it, it does seem like it can often fire a few times. It seems like a terrible, terrible system if you ask me, but oh well. Hey, so all we need to do is make sure that when Humanoid.Died connects, it no longer connects again. That's it. So it's a bit like a debounce, but it's essentially just a toggle so that once it's fired, it never fires again. Okay, so let's carry on back where we was. Okay, we've got local function spawn zombies. While the zombie count is less than the maximum zombies, brilliant. We're going to print the zombie count, okay, and then we're going to. Why are we setting? Okay, we're making a zombie position each time. We could just do this directly straight into here. We don't. There's nothing wrong with setting up these variables first, but I mean, you could just have this math.random bit here in here, but this is nice and clear for you if you want to ever change these values. If you really want to be smart about it, you could have something that sets a region, and then you could adjust it whenever you want. Right, yep, new zombie. Like I said, I'd want to make this a variable being created in this function. You don't want to ever interfere with anything else. Keep it and you should keep variables as local as you possibly can. Keep them in as limited a scope as they need to be. Better for how everything runs that way. And zombie count goes up by 1. Perfect. There's not going to be a problem there. That's going to go up each time you spawn one. The parent, right, you're putting the parent before. You want to parent something as like the last thing you do. That's the most efficient way to do it. Zombie humanoid max health, so we're giving them 300 health and setting the health to 300. Perfect, yeah, because a lot of people forget that. They just set the max health and they forget to set the actual health, which means that their health is still left at like 100. Walk speed 25. Oh, blimey. Fast zombies. They're not. There you go. Fast ones, eh? New zombie. Set primary part. C frame. Perfect. C frame dot new. And then we're setting that C frame with a position. Perfect. Yep, that's all great. And then we wait 5. Why do we wait 5 inside this function? That's more something you. That would be. Oh, I see, because you only call this function once and it's a while loop. Yeah, that's right. Okay. If you're going to separate it out into being a function, instead of this being a while loop, I'd have this as an if statement, and I would get rid of the wait altogether and put the wait in whatever's controlling the spawning of the zombies. Come down to here. Now here you've done your function, your event for when the humanoid dies. To connect this up. Now this might work, but it's not how I'd like to do it. And the debounce, this is a debounce for being able to fire something multiple times. You see, you setting the debounce. You're saying the debounce isn't true, then which is perfect. Yeah, false. Then you set it to true. You count the zombie count goes down 1, and then you wait 1, and then you debounce. But this means that if you kill 2 zombies within 1 second, it's only going to count down 1, because you got the debounce is script wide. The scope of the debounce is everything. There's only 1 debounce, which means that if 1 zombie dies and then you kill another zombie within 1 second, it's not going to count it off the zombie count, and you're going to end up running out of zombie spaces. But the opposite effect of we was having before, where you was getting too many zombie counts being reduced because of the died event being fired multiple times. When we got, and then we get down to the bottom and we say if the zombie count's less than, well, this is going to fire almost immediately, so there's never going to be above 50, and it's only going to fire the once. So let's have a look at rearranging this. Okay, we don't need this debounce. We want this. This wants to actually be pointing to replicated storage. So just write it in as if you do it. You can move it. Okay, I do it this way. Call replicated storage. I'm going to just shorthand it to rep. Call it we want game, get service, replicated storage. What's going on here? Why has it not got? Oh, I've got insert on. Hilarious. Replicated storage. Okay, local, and then zombie is going to actually be. We're going to put the zombie in. Actually, let's take all that out. We're going to put the zombie into replicated storage. So I want you to take it out of workspace, wherever it is in the workspace off the map or something, and put it in here, replicated storage. And then we're not going to just do dot zombie. We're going to do colon wait for child, and then we're going to look for our zombie. And that way we make sure that it's loaded into the game before we're referencing it. Zombie count equals 0. Brilliant, because there are no zombies. That's a great way to initialize that. 50, that's perfect. Nothing wrong with that. Local zombie folder, workspace zombie collection. We can either use a wait for child again, make sure that the folder's loaded in, or we could make the folder out of the script, and then it's not in your workspace when you're working in the game. Not a problem that way. I would do it this way. We don't need the debounce. And we certainly don't want the new zombie in this section here. So here I'm just going to make a zombie folder. Let's call it zombie folder equals instance.new, and we're going to make a folder, and we're going to say zombie folder dot name equals zombie folder. There we go. And we're going to say zombie folder dot parent equals game dot workspace. Okay, now we're doing this as a function here, so we're gonna, instead of being a while loop, let's do this as an if statement. So we change that to if and then. So if the zombie count is less than or equal to the max zombies, then we'll do this. Okay. Are you sure you want it to be if equal to? Because then that will actually go. That will actually make 51 zombies. I would actually say you probably just want that to be less than, and then this max zombies is the actual number of zombies it comes to. Not a big deal, you know. Um, Either way, or you could check that zombie count plus 1 is less than or equal to the maximum zombies. There's a few ways you could do it maths wise, but yeah, the way you have it like this with the equals, this is going to actually make 51 zombies. That's going to make 50 zombies. Local position, yeah, we'll leave that as it is. That's all fine. Now then, we want to actually make this local new zombie, and we're going to add 1 to the zombie count. Perfect, I'm fine with that. New zombie, we want this to be the last line. We're going to do that after all of those. We're going to get rid of this weight because we don't need that either. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, max health, walk speed, position, that all looks absolutely grand. Nothing wrong with any of that. Now then, we want this function, we want this inside this function. We want it to be made and connected to this new zombie after its thing. We what we want to do not want to use a debounce like this. We don't want, let's just get rid of all of those bits. We don't want to wait, that's for sure. So we don't want that end either. So, Humanoid.Died, zombie count. What can we use to do this? We could just stick something onto the zombie to check whether it's died or not yet. Yeah, let's add an attribute to the zombie. Now we could do this in script, or you could do it manually in here. You know, if we find the zombie and we add an attribute. I think we'll do it in script. Let's add an attribute to the zombie. Okay, so we've made it. Let's do it at the very beginning of making it here. I'm going to say new zombie, colon, add attribute. It's going to be, oh, let me remember how you do this in script. I think it goes name. We're going to call it alive. Yeah. I don't think we need to. Oh no, let's just do this with true. I'm going to set it to true. I think that should automatically make it a boolean. Well, we'll find out. Okay, looked at it again. It's not add attribute, it's set attribute. That's why it looks funny to me. There we go. Set attribute, alive and true. And that should give us this thing here. Okay, and then we can then say, in here, we can say if new zombie dot get attribute, no, colon get attribute, and then we put in here alive, then zombie count goes down. And then we're going to set the and then if we set the, what's it called, the alive attribute to false, yeah, so we'll say new zombie set attribute alive, comma, false. And now it's false, and now it shouldn't go again. And then we'll end that if statement. And then if this fires multiple times, it won't matter, and we're just using an attribute on the zombie. Same as we could have put a bool function in, a bool value in there, but attributes are slightly faster, a little bit more efficient, so this should be a better method. And now we want this one wants to be the while loop, so while zombie count less than max zombies, then no, we don't want then, we want, oh no, we don't want this to be a while loop. Actually, we will like while loop like that. We want while true do, while true, or even you could just put the wait in here, while wait however long it takes you to spawn your zombies, let's say every second. I don't know quite how you want it. Was it 5 seconds? Maybe it's 5 seconds, but change this number to make it how frequent you want it to spawn. You can even put a variable in here. Do spawn zombies, and now this will spawn a new zombie each time this happens. But we want it to then check if zombie count, so zombie count is less than max zombies. Oh no, we don't need to care. We don't need to care about that because we've got the check up there. That's it. We can just literally say spawn zombies every 1 second, and if it's able to, it will spawn one. If it isn't, it won't spawn one, and that's hunky dory. I suppose I should make myself a zombie just to be sure. Let's just add ourselves a rig, a man rig. There it is. I'm going to call this zombie, and just because I'm like this, I'm going to say body colors. Let's make him green, just because, you know, he's got to look like a zombie. And we'll stick him into replicated storage, like I said. So let's check that out. Are they spawning underground? They are, aren't they? Let's just increase that number just to be sure right here. There we go. As you can see, it's spawning zombies away. The number's going up nicely. I should probably give myself a weapon. Yeah, see, we're starting at 0. I was worried then that I only went up to 49, but that's correct. There we go. Spawning zombies in. Plenty quick. Ow, that was loud. See, so we got 14 twice then, because we reduced the number. Let's let it finish spawning. There's nothing in these zombies to clear up their bodies. Okay, be able to spawn another one in as soon as I'd kill one. So nothing spawning, nothing spawning, nothing spawning. If we kill one, there'll be another 49. There we go. I hope that's of some help. It's helped clear things up. I will drop this script um, into the Discord for you to check out as well. Hopefully that does help you. Right, bye for now.